Hey there friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're having a really great day. Today I'm coming back to you with another book review, and this time it is of Good Omens by Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. Started reading this book a little while ago as they've just released the TV show version of this, which has got David Tennant and Michael Sheen in, which is done by Amazon Prime and BBC. So I've got like the edition with that on the cover, and the advert for this looked really good, and I was like, oh, I'll read the book first so that I can, you know, see what the original basically is, and that is what I did. I in the end gave this book like a 3 out of 5 stars. Really, on Goodreads, really probably more like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I kind of had a lot of mixed feelings about this. This book is quite old now. I think it was originally written in the 80s. It was originally published in 1990. So this book is now over, nearly 20 years old. And I think that really reflects. It's a really cool concept. It's really fun. It's really light-hearted. It's quite kind of like dark humour, but not in sort of an adult way, just in like a bit of a mysterious end of the world, I'm not sure what's going to go down kind of way. The characters are all really interesting, and there's a lot of different things going on at once, which at times is really confusing because literally you'll have like on one page a flip between 3 different characters' storylines who aren't in the same conversation, so it's not even like going back and forwards between 2 people, which at times can be a little bit confusing. You're like, I just want to stick with one person for a little bit, but it's very all over the place. I think that's like the entire point of the book. It's meant to be a bit flitty, it's meant to be a bit all over the place, it's meant to be a bit kind of, you don't really know what's going on at times. If you don't know, this book is about an angel and a demon and the end of the world. So it's called Good Omens, and basically it kind of is to do with Armageddon and the end of the world and an angel and a demon and how it's all kind of run up to that. It's kind of got the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, it's got the Antichrist, and it's also to do with some prophecies that have all been coming true for the last like hundreds and hundreds of years. So there's a lot of different really cool elements in this that I think are really enjoyable, and I know this is a massive cult classic. Like, there's people who like have read this hundreds of times, and I can see why, as it is super fun. It's a really unique, it's not actually that unique concept. I think there's a lot of books and a lot of stories set around this topic, but I feel like this, because this was written in the 90s, it was probably one of the first. But this kind of brings together a lot of different elements of like angels and demons, of the Antichrist, of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, of children with powers, of witch hunters, of people who are members of the occult or can tell prophecies, and it kind of fuses all of these things into one story, which is kind of really different. And this book was written by Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, who are 2 of the most famous, most loved authors in the world over the last 20 years or so. And because it was written by both of them, I think that also adds into the nature of this being kind of somewhat flitty and a bit kind of all over the place. I think when I read, there's an interview with them in the back, when I read that, it kind of says that one of them kind of had more of a hand in certain parts and one had a hand in other parts. And in a way that's kind of quite easy to spot when you know that, because you're like, okay, this makes sense. I would recommend this book, but it wouldn't be kind of the top of my recommendations list for anyone. I think if you like fantasy and you've not read this, it's definitely one to read, just because it's such a cult classic. It's like sort of it's a modern classic, I suppose. And it's a standalone book, so you're not committing yourself to a massive series, which I always kind of sometimes really like, sometimes I don't, but with this it kind of works really well. And yeah, it's just fun. It's not like, for me it wasn't hugely gripping and didn't really make me want to pick it up and finish it, but it was enjoyable. And as I say, it brings together all these really cool elements that we've sort of read and we've watched and we've seen a lot of over the years, and it kind of fuses them all together. And because I say this first came out in the very early 1990, so I can see how this has probably led to a lot of trends in book, in film, in cinema, and really kind of been a bit of a catalyst, and I think that's super cool. So as it is sort of like a modern classic, I would recommend it just to be like, oh yeah, I read that. And it is enjoyable, and it's really, and it's fun, and it's light-hearted, and it's not like a difficult read. It's not like an emotional read, but it's not at the same time like the most gripping, exciting thing on the planet. So I'm going to stop rambling, as I don't really feel like I've got that many other thoughts about this book. As you can tell, I kind of had mixed review really, but if you've read this and you have comments and thoughts, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you thought, and if you've got any recommendations for me based on this or based on what you've heard me talk about this, and again, please let me know in the comments. Hope you had an amazing day, and I shall see you guys soon. Bye.